Hello and happy weekend to everybody. It's Amber back with another craft fair series project. I'm so excited about this one, and I know I say that every single time, and I think it's because the ones I actually make are really exciting. So I can't thank you guys enough for all your amazing support throughout this craft fair series, and you push me to get my inventory done, and it's just such a great time. I love this time of year. So what you're staring at is some gorgeous paper. I mean, this paper just reminds me of like a bohemian dream. It is so pretty. The colors, the gold foiling and everything. But anyways, the products that I use, I'm going to be showing you later in the video. But this project I am calling Notepad stacks, if you haven't already noticed that from the title of this video. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and move the supplies here, because we're going to do some on camera in a tutorial in a minute, but I'm going to move these supplies out of the way and I'm going to show you how these things turned out. Here it is. Oh my goodness. I cannot be more pleased with that way that this turned out, you guys. It's 3 little notebooks that I covered with beautiful scrapbook paper, stacked and staggered on each other, tied with some beautiful bohemian yarn. Now, this just looks like something you would buy in like Papyrus or Paper Source, or, like a kind of like a fancy stationery shop. And it's so easy to do, and I'm going to show you how I did it. But before we get into the tutorial and all the supplies, I'm going to go ahead and show you all the ones that I made first. So all of the ones you see here that I made, I used the Craftsmith paper called Flower Market right here. And it seriously couldn't be more beautiful paper, you guys. This reminds me of boho, but it also kind of reminds me of fall. So it's got the really pretty mustard yellow colors, the purple, and like the really subtle like blush pink colors and oranges, and it's just so pretty. So I'm kind of showing you this, and I know you can't obviously tell by just looking, but this paper is so thick and sturdy, and that is my #1 tip for this project. Make sure you use paper that is thick and sturdy, because you're going to be creasing it and folding it, and you do not want it to crack. Now, with that being said, Craftsmith, the brand, you can get it at Michael's, their paper is not consistent with each paper pad. So some of them are textured, some of them have really glossy pages, some of them are thick. This one happens to be like almost like cardboard feeling. It is so thick and sturdy. So it was the perfect paper, not only because it's beautiful, but also because it was so thick and sturdy, and it held up really nice for this project. And you guys know what? As I was flipping through it, I was like, oh my gosh, see this cutout page? I would just want to make cards and envelopes because of the cutout page. I was like, ever since I, made that project, that's all I see paper pads as now, is like killing it to make cards and envelopes. But I moved on, I made a new project, and I really enjoyed making these. So next, I'm going to go ahead and show you the ones that I made using a different paper pad, which I'll show you at the end of me showing them to you. So I hope you enjoyed those as well. sister talked me into using the paper on this one, and I'm so glad she did because I love how these papers are in combination with each other. I just love it. It turned out so pretty. And this paper pad is called Watercolor, and it's by DCWV. And DCWV paper is very consistent with their paper pads. Each paper pad always, all the ones I've ever gotten are always super thick. They feel like poster board. So again, with the cutouts, you guys, I just want to make cards. Anyways, but the paper in DCWV paper pads are very thick and a perfect, choice for this project if you have any of that paper. So these are the kind of tropical theme ones. And now let's get into showing you all the materials that you're going to need and the tutorial. Okay, so first of all, I use these notepads from the Dollar Tree. They come in multiple colors and they come 5 to a pack. I don't have a fresh package here because I use them all, but they come in a pack of all the same color and they're all glued together, and all you have to do is simply separate each one, and each one has like a cardstock, like a chipboard pretty much backing to it, so it's very easy to separate them. You're also going to need scrapbook paper, and out of a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper you can get 3 covers, so you can mix and match or do whatever you want. And here's the scraps that I have left from the ones that I've been making, of course the boho ones. So we're going to use some of these scraps here, of course, to make the ones, to make the one here on camera, because there's plenty of this beautiful paper left. And I'm just showing you, here's 2 that I've already cut down, so I think I'll go ahead and use those 2, and then I'm just going to find another one in here that looks good for my little set of 3. I think that one's really pretty. So we're going to use that one. And also the other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need some kind of either ribbon, yarn, elastic. For the boho ones, I use this beautiful yarn that I found at the Dollar Tree, you guys. Kid you not. I haven't seen it back since I bought it, but you can get this at Walmart as well. They have all different colors, and it's actually yarn to like make scarves out of. And then for the tropical ones, I use this elastic trim, and I use it as ribbon. But it's actually elastic, so it's perfect to hold all the notepads together, and it's this pretty teal color with gold trim. And I use that for the tropical ones. The next thing you're going to need is some really strong adhesive. I use this sticky red line tape, and then you're also going to need some adhesive to cut, just regular adhesive. So I use my ATG. You're going to need scissors, and you're going to need a bone folder. The bone folder is very, very important. If you don't have one, find something around your house that can act as a bone folder, like a butter knife or something like that, or the end of your scissors or something like that. Then you're going to need a trimmer. Of course, you never need a trimmer. You can always use a ruler and scissors or a craft knife if you don't have a trimmer. So those are the supplies you're going to need. I'm going to show you where you're going to need them and how to use them in this super simple, easy tutorial. So besides, of course, the little notepads, you are going to need 3 pieces of scrapbook paper, sturdy scrapbook paper, that measure 3.5 by 10.25. So 3.5 by 10.25. And if you don't have sturdy scrapbook paper, you can use cardstock and then just mat the front to make it pretty with regular scrapbook paper. So, but it's pretty easy to find pretty sturdy scrapbook paper. I think most companies now are they put out a pretty sturdy piece of scrapbook paper. It's really heavy duty cardstock. So I'm just going to cut my last piece because I only had the 2 there that I had pre-cut. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in and cut it at 3.5 by 10.25. This paper, you guys, is so pretty. I mean, I don't know if you're into these colors, but these are totally my kind of colors, like the fall tone and like the rose gold and everything, but this paper is just so pretty to me. Anyway, so let's cut this piece, and this is the scrap you'll have left. So with one piece of 12 by 12, you can get 3 strips. So like I said, you can mix and match them and stagger them like I did. So you can actually also, I want to mention, you could totally take this and make it your own. Use different size notepads, just measure the paper accordingly. So now I'm trying to match up a notepad to each paper, which looks the best. And this is going to become one little cute set. So we're going to completely put one of these together. It seriously could not be easier, as I mentioned before. And then I will do probably one off camera, and then we'll do one like on fast speed or something. So I can show you the full process of how this is done. So I'm going to go ahead and put two of them aside, and I don't know which one I choose first, but we're going to put two of them aside, and we're going to work on putting together our first little notepad. So I went ahead and grabbed my craft mat to work on, and I'm going to grab one of these notepads and papers so we can go ahead and put one of these together. So I think I'm going to choose the cute one with the orange. Yeah, this is so pretty, the design on this. I'm in love with it. So the first thing you're going to grab is your red line tape or score tape or whatever adhesive that you choose to use for this part. I really recommend the red line tape. I don't use it that often, but for this, it's very useful. So see the top there? We're just going to go ahead and lay some of this tape up there. And the top is about, it's a little over 1/8 of an inch wide. It's not quite 1/4 of an inch, so you're going to have some overhang, but it's really easy. You can just fold it over or fold it up on itself. It's really easy. So like I said, just take your red line tape, stretch it across the top of the notepad, kind of where there's like existing glue there. It's kind of dried glue where the notepads were stuck together. And you're just going to take your scissors, cut off the red line tape, the excess. And I'm trying to do this off camera, guys, so I get it straight, but then I'll bring it back. Yeah, so there it is. I laid the tape down, and see how there's an overhang? That's okay. I just didn't have, any skinnier tape. You're going to take your bone folder and really burnish this down so that tape and that glue is sticking to the notepad when you peel off the backing. So then you're going to grab your scissors and just, of course, snip it off, because you can't tear this. It's really just strong adhesive. So you're going to go ahead and just really, really crease that down and burnish it. And so then you're going to peel off the red backing, and you're left with some really strong adhesive. So peel that off, and like I said, there's overhang. So the overhang, sorry, I can't talk. The overhang on the back just kind of flap down to adhere to the cardboard. And then the overhang in the front, you can just kind of press up against the top and just have like a double layer of glue right there. The next thing you're going to do is take your paper and just stack it in front, flush with the notepad. It's going to be flush to the sides and the bottom. So see, there's no overhang. It's exactly the right size. And so once you have that, you're going to lay it down. And this part is just really important. You're just going to flip over that flap right onto the back. You're going to line it up. I know there's no adhesive on the back, but this is kind of what I've learned in the process. Line it up with the edges of your notepad, the bottom. Don't worry about the top yet, because you're going to crease that down. So see, there's the top. Now this is probably the most important step, you guys. Take that bone folder and flatten the top down, because that's where all the glue is living. Take the bone folder, make it nice and straight, like a book almost. It's going to make it look so nice and finished and just perfect. So then you're going to take your bone folder and crease where that fold meets, pretty much. And then after you do both sides, take your bone folder again and just flatten, 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 because that right there is where this thing is held on. So then what you have is a cute little notepad cover, and the back is a flap as well, but you want to adhere it to the cardboard. So that's where your ATG tape comes in. You just want to glue those two together so they're one. So what you're just going to do is get your ATG and go right to the edge with that ATG tape, because you want this to be really adhered to that piece of cardboard in the back. Well, it's like chipboard. So get all four sides and then just fill a little bit in the middle. And what you're going to do is when you turn this over, just line it up. My tip to you is to line it up with the edge first and then the bottom, and then just crease it down, and it'll be the perfect fit with the measurements I gave you for these notepads from the Dollar Tree anyways. So then just really give it a good crease and a good burnish with your bone folder, And there you go, you guys. That is how you make it. How easy is that? Like, so simple. And don't worry if you don't have the exact same materials that I do. Use what you have. Like I was saying, if you don't have a bone folder, use a butter knife. If you don't have that red line tape, just use the adhesive that you have. Just make sure you put extra so it's very strong. Now let's put another one of these together. Okay, so here's our 3 little notebooks that we covered. I did one of them off camera and we did 2 together. So now all you have to do is literally stagger them, stack them, and tie them with some yarn or ribbon or twine, or you can even put a rubber band around it first and then cover it with ribbon so that way it's more of a sturdy hold. I did find that with this yarn, I was able to tie it really tight though, and I didn't need a rubber band. But if you're going to use something like just regular like satin ribbon or something, I do recommend putting like a hair tie or a rubber band around it. It's just, you have to find the right size. But with this, I went ahead and just tied this super, super tight, and I think it took me a couple tries here, but it's really easy. And there's like so much on this yarn roll that you'll never run out, really. And like I said, you can find this yarn at Walmart. I just really got lucky and found a bunch of it at the Dollar Tree. So I just tied this in a cute little knot, and I'm just snipping off the ends. And there is our cute little notepad stack. I think that even if you're not doing craft fairs, these would make beautiful gifts for your friends, your family, ladies at church, or if maybe you have some kids and you want to give them to their teachers. Even you could even give them to like your coworkers, or like if you have an assistant at work, this would be a beautiful gift to pair it with a gift card. I just think that they're so, the presentation of them is so beautiful. And with all the beautiful scrapbook paper that we own, you guys, I mean, the possibilities are endless. So I decided that I wasn't sure if I was going to package these in the clear cellophane, but you know me, I love my clear cellophane packaging. So me and my sister last night, we went ahead and tested it, and it looks really good. So I'm going to show you what I used to package it. And I happened to get these, the cellophane little pouches that I'm using, I happened to get them at Tuesday morning. And I just have a huge container of all these plastic sleeves, and I just go through it and see what size fits the best. These happen to be 4 1/16 by 9 and, let me see, the packaging here, 9 3/4. Now, the length of these things do not need to be this long, but this is what I have in my stash, so I'm going to use it. But I'm going to go ahead and go on to clearbags.com, which is where I usually buy all of my clear adhesive sleeves. And I'm going to go ahead and look for one that is the perfect size for this project, and I'll link it below for you guys, because I know it's kind of hard to find the perfect, size unless you're actually doing the project. So since I already know the dimensions, I'm going to go on there and I'm going to find a size that will work good, that will work good for this project. So here's how it looks. Isn't that pretty? It's just such a beautiful presentation when you package it like this. So as you can see, mine is a little long, but that's okay, because with these adhesive sleeves, you can just fold it and then adhere it to the back, to the size that you need. So here's how it looks. I'm so happy with this. I think it looks so much better in the plastic sleeve, and it also protects your product so that way it doesn't get bent or damaged, or nothing spills on it or anything like that. So I just think it just makes for a beautiful presentation. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and link a similar or comparable plastic sleeve below on clearbags.com. By the way, none of my videos are sponsored by clearbags.com. I just want to point that out. I just really like the products that they have. But clearbags.com, if you're listening or watching this video, feel free to sponsor it and give my subscribers a coupon code. Anyways, here they all are, you guys. I am just so happy with these and excited. I just want to make like a billion more. I don't have any more notepads left. That's the problem. I ran out, but I just want to go back to Dollar Tree and get a bunch more colors and make like a million more of these. I just want you all to know that any of you can make these projects that I do for my craft fair series. I like to keep them very simple, but I also think that they have a unique and artsy touch, and they're just very well made, and they just look unique, artsy, and handmade. And I just think having a product that can be mass produced and kept simple using your stash that you already have is just the greatest thing. So when you have a bunch of each item on your craft table, it just makes for a better display and more customer attraction. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, and I'm excited to share my next project with you guys, which is going to be coming very soon because it's with a guest crafter, and you know who that is, my sister Bree. You're going to be so excited for her project. You're going to want to go right out and make it. So have a great rest of your weekend, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.